Self-care. It's such a deep, layered word, and for me, it's really become the process of getting to know yourself, showing up for yourself over and over again. In creation of the Self-Care Creature podcast, I want to teach you, too, how to have a relationship with yourself. We're going to dive into the psychological and physiological unfoldings of adopting what I love to call a self-care lifestyle. This podcast is here to help you, the stressed out but spiritually minded individual who can feel that wild calling in your heart, who wants to develop self-care rituals to support your daily living, give you the confidence and know-how to live through your intuition and raise your self-worth. You deserve it. You are capable of this. And I want to help you understand how the hell to get there, what it actually means, and how do you actually live it. That's where my intention is with this podcast. The Self-Care Creature podcast, brought to you by me, your host, Courtney Klopp. Let's dive in. I thought of another pivotal point in my life, and this one feels a little less personal, but nonetheless profound. And I remember it was in meditation hall here in Ithaca a few years ago, and I was sitting in the evening sit with all the guests and my teacher, and my teacher made some comment that he was just always says a couple words before we settle into our meditation, and the dogs were barking and barking and barking in the background where whatever they were doing. And he was like, and if you're having a hard time, like, just relaxing and being here now, just listen to the dogs. And I remember that I thought it was the funniest thing because, I'm sitting here trying to meditate and I can't concentrate because the dogs won't stop barking. And and then, he dings the bell and we sit in meditation and I'm listening to the dogs, and it's just making me realize that listening to the noises around us, no matter what they may be, allow us to be present. Listening to the dogs is allowing me to notice what is happening in the present moment, to be here now, so to speak. And of course, it doesn't necessarily mean that I won't always find it annoying or challenging, but in some regards, it really helped me to soften. It helped me to realize, like, oh, I'm not trying to change the situation. Like, these are just literally just accepting what is. These are dogs barking. And they're not interrupting my practice. What if they are actually helping my practice and pinpointing me to be here right now? Which just that was big. I think of that often, especially when there are noises that do annoy me that come up in life, or distractions, things that I think are distractions during my meditation. I soften when I'm able to realize, like, actually, this is helping me be present. It's helping to keep my mind from wandering because I have to focus on what I feel like is a distraction, but is it possibly just keeping me here in the present moment? And then there was another pivotal moment around meditation practice that I'll just share in this same vein. Was around one time we were doing a staff meditation. So I can't remember if I think it was probably in the morning sometime, but we had finished meditating, and I'm just going to make up the name of a bird because I don't know what name of what bird it was, but my teacher, we exited meditation, or the bell rang, and so meditation was finished and we were all just like getting ready to leave, and I heard my teacher lean over and ask one of the other students, "Did you hear that mockingbird?" And they smiled and nodded, and I saw them basically just sharing in this moment of how present and beautiful the sounds and that meditation, being present in in where we were at and listening to the birds together in silence while meditating, because that is meditating, right? Being present, being aware. And that really struck me because I had just come out of the exact same meditation and I didn't hear any birds. Where was I? And you know, this ebbs and flows. It's not like every single time I go to sit in meditation now I'm listening for the birds or listening for what's around me. Oftentimes I do have to notice where my mind is at. I do have to consciously take some deep breaths and feel into my body and into my being and allow myself to settle, to be present, and then maybe noticing the things outside of myself. And this is a practice that is a long time coming, because in noticing things outside of myself, I often do get distracted, or at least I used to a lot more. As in, if I thought of the bird or listening to the wind or things like that, hearing those things and acknowledging them would make my mind run more thoughts around all of those things, rather than it was just so much easier to focus on the internal, the breathing, my body, the breath, those kinds of things. And my teacher said something just a few days ago now that has stuck with me, and it is, he said, oh my gosh, okay, let me get these words together. He said it is more important to hear a bird singing than it is to be a CEO or president or anything like that. It is more important to be able to hear a bird sing than to be a CEO or to be president or anything like that. And that just really struck me. It just really struck me, because who cares? Who cares if you're some big shot of a hedge fund or a CEO of a company or whatever, president of a country? If you are not able to hear the birds sing or a bird call out or like live in the present moment in any way, who gives a fuck? You're missing out on the purpose of life, because our purpose is not found in our accomplishments. Part of this path that I am on in life, and that is most certainly the Zen path also, and mindfulness path, and just protecting well-being, mental health, all of this is realizing that you are incredible just the way you are. You are magnificent simply for being born. And we live in a world that teaches us conditional love at a very young age in many different ways. And perhaps part of the path really is the unlayering of that as well.
Wait a minute, it's the outro. I just want to take a quick moment to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this movement for individuals, our communities, the planet. If you happen to tune into this episode and you really don't know who I am, well, my name is Courtney. I'm a queer woman bridging the space between self-care and community care with my sweet and sassy spirit. I've been lifestyle coaching since 2012. I have a very eclectic background that I've built up over the last decade plus of my career, and I specialize in helping people move through challenging transitions in their lives to learn how to accept and maybe even love themselves, to attain this peace of mind. All aspects of my work revolve around creating a stable foundation in your body, mind, and soul that you can return to and build from for the rest of your life. I have classes, courses, community, private sessions available, all online, in person, some on-demand offerings. Feel free to check it out at my website, www.selfcarecreature.com. Don't forget about the form in the show notes. You can give me some feedback, you can ask questions, be a part of this podcast conversation with me, and it would mean so much if you would like to leave a review. Thank you for being here.